does it look so... Okay, I was about to say it looked dark. It was weird. Okay. Aren't you all lucky? Because you get me in the afternoon with coffee. What? Okay. Just a second. Let me make sure. It is very gorgeous today. However, it is colder than a witch's tail on a broomstick. Oh my god! And it's the 2 days of super cold we're gonna get, and then we'll start going back to normal, or what we had been having. So, I've been out and about today, so I did take a shower. Aren't you proud of me? Aren't you proud of me? Go ahead and grab your cup of coffee. Hey! Go ahead and grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your matcha, your wine. I don't care. I don't care. Settle in and let's see if there's a message. Now, as far as what I was getting before I got on, it was more of a like waiting for direction. Like in the ready, in the prepared, in the waiting for your for someone to say yes, no, go, whatever. And so you're just waiting for direction. And then I got a response. Like it was like somebody was saying, I'm waiting for your direction. And then it was, well, today you get direction. And I was like, what? Okay. So that took me by surprise. I was like, all right, so let's get a little direction today. Okay. It is half calf. So technically, this cup is like getting to the full cup finally today. Just saying. This time change shit had me crashing a little bit, and I've got shit to do. I don't know about you, but I've got stuff to do. Also, Spirit was talking to me earlier today, like maybe 20 minutes before I got on. I was like, when I was feeling drawn to do this, because I didn't even think I was going to get on at all today. And they're like, hey, you've got time. Why don't you do something? And it was like, there was a conversation of, see, you try to make it harder than it has to be. And it was like, I don't know how to not make it harder than it has to be. I try to not make it hard, or I try to go about it but I'm not finding the way. It's, like, for example, like there was this situation where I was trying to like do something on a platform. Like I'm signing up on a new platform, and like I have to submit certain of my documents and things like that in order to be able to use it. It's a professional platform, and I'm trying to upload certain things, and then I read like you have to have X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I don't have X, Y, and Z, so I go try to make some. So like I'm going through trying to figure out how to do certain things, and I don't understand what they're talking about. So then I figure it out, and then I make my own. But then when I go to upload it, they're like, oh, this is the wrong kind. Like it needs to be a JPEG or some shit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, do you know how many times I have tried to use technology? We talking about technology here. Technology. And it's supposed to be an easy platform. The whole year of 2022 was me attempting to use new platforms and spending days trying to figure out how to fucking use it. Because it's like, oh, it's self-explanatory. Is it really? Because when I am looking at things, I don't I'm not seeing it readily. You know what I mean? Like I don't see where I can actually do it. And so like today was a prime example. And I think that this is going to translate, because it was seemingly just a few seconds after this conversation with Spirit where they're like, you need to go on. And I was like, oh, I get to be an example for people. Great. So the situation was, finally, I just go in there and I'm trying to figure something out. And I go under certificates where it says to upload shit, and I click on it. And then it says, go ahead and buy X, Y, and Z, right? And I'm like, so I just buy it. Like they have like forms on there you can buy. Like I do that, and it downloads it. And in doing so, it took care of like 3 or 4 issues that I was trying to figure out that I'd spent 2 hours on. And I was like, I don't get it. And had I just like, and I had clicked, I hadn't clicked on those things before because the button just said certificates, right? And upload. And then I'm thinking, okay, upload. So I just clicked, like, seriously, it didn't say what it would happen if I clicked on the certificates button. And then all kinds of shit made sense. And I was like, well, this would have been beneficial, like, on, like, for me to know to click it, right? Like put that shit under the information of the button. Don't just have a random button sitting somewhere. Like I know that younger people are just so curious. Like, what is this? I'm not. I had Mr. Gadget and all that kind of shit growing up. And I was like, you don't push the red button till you know what the fuck it does. Does that make sense? Okay. And so I was like, I was not going to push a button. So I don't know. Weeks have gone by, me trying to figure out if I've got everything right with this fucking thing. And come to find out, like, a lot of things would have been simpler if I had just pushed the button. I was like, why didn't it tell me what would happen if I pushed a button? Like, I don't know. So it's almost like Spirit was like, if you had just taken the time to explore, I'm like, I did. Like, I guess I was trying to over intellectualize. I was so afraid that by pushing something would happen negatively. And on top of it, I was like, I do not want to spend any more money than I have to. Okay. Because, and in all honesty, had I just done that, it'd been so much easier. Like, I was making shit. I was Googling stuff like how to do this and how to do that. And nobody would answer my fucking question on any of the Googles or the YouTubes or anything else. And I was like, okay. Right? And this platform is designed to take care of it, all of it for you, so you don't have to go figuring stuff out. But it didn't look like it to me. So somebody might be confused about something here, and they're making it harder than they got to be. And maybe it's just like, just keep going. Like, instead of stopping and going, "Ooh, I don't know. Should I push the button? Should I like, I can't go there." It's like, just do it. Just do it. And you'll, pleasantly surprised, something served to you on a silver platter. That was what it was like. I was like, I am done. I closed that computer. I opened it back up for this, but I closed the computer. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And then Spirit's like, why don't you go on? I was like, convenient, Spirit. So I don't know. Maybe somebody here is making it harder than it has to be. But it's like, maybe that has to go in with the whole, like, I'm just waiting for direction. And they're like, you're going to get direction. And so maybe it's that you were afraid, like, maybe up to this point you've been trying to figure it out on your own, and all you had to do was just wait for direction. All you had to do was push the button. You know what I mean? I was like, you're spinning your wheels for no fucking reason. Why are you doing that? So I don't know. But we'll get into this. We'll figure out what's going on. Okay. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Hey, Peter. Okay. Where are we starting? Spirit. I'm getting Dory's, you know, Nemo and Dory, that Disney film, and Dory goes, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Like, that's what it is. Just keep going. Maybe if you just keep going, that's when the direction will come. Like, you're gonna get it. I don't know. I am just trying to pull things together. I'm like, okay. But they're like, you're gonna get direction. So, okay. This is Azathoth Tarot, by the way. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was like a whole fucking book. Let's see. Ooh. So your overall energy is the Page of Swords here. Princess of Swords. Page of Swords. That's been coming up the last couple of times. You're going to get direction. In the previous readings, this was like an offer. This was something coming in. This was information, opportunity, but it always was like there was someone behind it. Like it was coming to you as in like specifically for you. And so there would be some type of communication behind this, like, like an actual message, like the pages, represent. Okay. They're giving you very simplistic 1 to 2 word like responses on these things. It's like a very matter of fact. We have 6 of Cups, and they're being very serious when they're talking about pleasure. Like 6 of Cups is that return to pleasure, because it's after the 5 of Cups, where you're like, I see nothing but all the shit that went wrong. And it's like, oh, shit's going right. Oh, thank God. It's, like you're getting back into the energy of finding, the day-to-day being pleasant, enjoying things. And then we've got the Hierophant, which is a little bit like, for someone, this is enjoying having structure again in their life. Like maybe everything was just too chaotic there for a while, and there's some semblance of stability or structure going on. For others, I'm feeling like the Hierophant is all about like feeling good because you're finally like your life is reflecting you, because that's what the Hierophant's all about. You hear all kinds of stuff, but the whole point of what like institutions and religions and things like that is to create a structure for a particular belief or way of being or way of understanding. And so that's what the Hierophant does. It's the masculine to the high priestess, the knowing, the deep, rich knowing and belief system and understanding of spirituality that's within, or just what you know to be true, your truth, your power. You want your inner realm to be reflected in your external realm. Correct? Correct. And so this is about having like your world, your life reflecting who you are again. Okay. And then we have over here, simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We have the Ace of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Swords. This is like, I feel like the page of Swords is connected to the Ace of Cups, okay? And the Page of Swords brings back a level of pleasure, structure, and whatever this Page of Swords is, it creates a situation where, again, you're living your truth. It's not just something that's internal, you're living it external to you. It is like life is reflecting that back to you again, okay? And so this is like an abundant offer that does a 180 on you, because the Knight of Swords is all about sweeping change. It is about a trajectory change, a pivot in your path. So it would be the 180, like things looking completely different than what they have been. So what's that got to do with direction? It's like almost as if, okay. So we talked about this a little bit yesterday about how whatever the offer is going to be your answer. Like you're going to know how to act after that. And it's like they're reiterating it. They're like, hey, when this thing happens, because this is actual communication. I mean, the Page of Swords is actual communication. You're going to know what to do. Right? So it's almost like giving you direction. But they said you will receive direction today. So it's almost like there's a present moment where like, and there was an immediate response to the, I'm just waiting for direction. And so it's like, you shall get direction today. And it was like, that doesn't normally happen, right? We usually articulate something, and then we continue to wait, but to have an immediate response from spirit about, and you shall have it. Okay. Alrighty. I might strip down because I'm getting a little hot. I got the heat going because it's so cold outside, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not a good idea to. Hey, Manishka! Went hunting this morning. Ooh, and seen some ravens flying in a circle, so went walking to them, and here I seen a calf moose, was going to harvest him, but decided not to due to the ticks on him. So he is free. All right. Let's see here. Gosh, it feels like, for me, they're picking up off of yesterday just a little bit. They're like, well, we kind of told you this yesterday, but I'm feeling more into the message I got before I logged on. Like, it adds a different layer to this, if that makes sense. Okay, at some point, we're going to use the Starman Tarot, guys, okay? 134. 134 follows me around. Like 313 or 13 has been a number in my life. Always it indicates various different things to me, but 1144 has been following me as well. 1212, which is a portal energy. It's like, that's when you've stepped through to a different timeline. You've kind of like walked through a portal in a way. I know some people don't like the woo-woo terms. It's just a term that we use to help people understand what we're talking about. It's really all these terms that we are using that sound woo-woo really just describe energy. That's all it is. That's stuck in my hand. Funny that I start talking about woo-woo shit and saying woo-woo things because they're like important psychic insights. And I shit you fucking not. Successful time, confidently accept opportunities. That's what it says down here. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. Events behind the scenes. Release your fears that hold you back. So, okay, so we're going to talk about it. Page of Swords. Something on offer. You need to accept it. Okay. What the fuck does that got to do with the direction? Oh, they just said that is direction. Oh my God. I got called out as it was coming out of my mouth. You ever have like spirit interrupt you and you're like, damn. If you haven't, it's much like what your mother would do when she already knows what's about to come out your mouth and she corrects you mid-sentence and you're like, shit. That's what it's like, okay? All right. So direction number 1. This is like, the way this feels, this is the time when you get your fucking pen to paper, people, okay? All right. If the last couple of things have resonated with you, you need to be writing some shit down. It's almost like when I was searching for the answers and I was Googling stuff and I was writing like how to do something, right? That's what it reminds me of. It's like, you want directions? I'm about to give it to you. Step 1, accept the fucking offer that's being on offer to you. Oh my God. I was going to say, and stop being afraid. And I swear to God, I heard a voice. Either somebody out there said it or somebody's spirit team. It's funny because mine would be like this too. Quit being a little bitch about it. I was like, oh, I'm not saying that out loud. All right, we're going to pull the Starman Tarot because they keep saying it. They keep pulling me towards it. Sorry. Hey, Kelsey. Something is on offer. And would you get rid of your doubt? I just heard that. Get rid of your doubt. Good God. Like, Spirit's sick and tired of you saying, I just don't think, I'll believe it when I see it. I just don't think it's for me. It's not for me. And you're over-analyzing shit. I can't see how that could possibly be for me. I can't see, this probably isn't for me. Like, whatever that is, like, That's your fears talking. You need your fear that you're not going to get something. And they're like, would you stop? Stop. No, I was doing other stuff. And then I got frustrated with it. And so I sit there and the spirit tells me I need to go ahead and read. And I'm like, what? All right. Well, son of a biscuit eater. I was making sure nothing else flipped. Okay. There's a lot coming from this card, but I don't know what they're talking about. Although it's an echo of something we mentioned yesterday. There's this sense of 3 swords, like a separation or a sadness. And it's almost like maybe it's more so your ego that's sad about having to let go of something. Maybe it's an idea or notion, because we got right here, which is like a little fetus, which is something like something going to be born, right? Something new. We do have a little bit of confusion right down here. We notice that the heart is intact, actually. Okay. And so that tells me that there's a little bit like, here's the 3 swords all pointing down, and there's a lack of acknowledgement of what the truth is, and or wanting to acknowledge what the truth is on something. And it's really it's your thought processes that to me is what says it's so ego, because these swords are not piercing that heart at all. And so really it's like your heart space is okay with something, your mind is not. And they want you to take a picture, like take a look at the greater picture of something. We've got the eagle here. This is an eagle. But we also have this feather, which, see that feather in his hand? So the eagle's like being a queen of swords, getting the eagle eye view, seeing the greater picture of something, seeing what's really happening, what's really going on, right? But the eagle, or this feather is similar to an owl feather. An owl feather, which is all about wisdom. It's like taking pause. And that might be why the heart's okay with it, because it's like when you see what your your egoic mind wants to hold on to. But when like you hold on to a relationship longer than you should because you just didn't want to be wrong. Like, I don't care what all could have happened, but in the end, you're just upset that you had to be wrong again, kind of thing, right? It's that type of energy. Like, I just don't want to acknowledge the truth of something because I just don't want to be wrong again. So this does indicate like a separation of some sort, you from either a thought pattern or your egoic attachment to something, whatever else it is. I don't know. We'll figure it out, because that's what they're not giving me. They're showing me a shit ton of all kinds of stuff though, otherwise. And they're like, there's something new. There's something new. And so they want you to just take a look. Okay. It is seeing the greater picture of this situation and using your wisdom, that it's not even your human or your etheric, your soul that wants to hold on to something. It's your ego. Okay. It's like pride. Okay. That is trying to hold on to something. It's so much easier to let it go and recognize that, though, if you take a greater picture of the situation and what it means to you. Now, what that whole Three of Swords is, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just that the idea that again, we've talked before where some of y'all just are holding on tight to the fact that you wanted to do it by yourself or you want it to happen a certain way. And they're like, could you drop the fucking ego and see how this is going to play out in the greater scheme of things? Recognize the wisdom of spirit in the situation, okay? And just take that into consideration. Because flanking this on each side, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is shown up frequently, right? Then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is a bit like holding back almost on a very special skill set or on a very particular skill set. You're holding back for some reason. Now, the Four of Pentacles can be about already having an established foundation on something. And so there's like not wanting to change something. Oh, I do not like the example they just gave me. I don't think this is for me, but it's like an example, and I could see why you all would be like, no. I'll give it to you in a second. So it's literally like already having a foundation of some sorts and really wanting to maintain that foundation. Four of Pentacles is like, no, you know what? I've got this money. I'm hoarding it. I'm going to hold on to it because you never know what's going to happen. If I start spending it and doing it and all kinds of stuff, then it'll be gone. Who's to say? That kind of thing. And so it's like, it's almost like saying, and it's in reference to a very specific skill set, like something that you've honed, something that you're really good at. And you're like, but I like doing it this way. Oh, this is the Four. Sorry. This is the Eight. My bad. It's like, but I like doing it this way. And Spirit's like, you need to evolve. You need to include other shit in what you do and how you do it. And you're like, no, this is how I do it. And they're like, remember we were saying yesterday with the Two of Pentacles, it was like, whatever it is, it's in the same niche, in the same vein of what you have created, that baby of yours, but it's greater and bigger than. You're going to have to let go of control. You're going to have to say, you know what? I started it like this and it was great and it's reflective of me, but I can expand on it. And me expanding on it doesn't mean like your ego is just like doesn't want to be wrong. And you're assigning to the fact that you have to change or expand or go in a different direction or like level up on something. You have to level up on something and you assume that means you somehow fail. Your ego is telling you that. Your ego is like, it means you were wrong. And your ego does not like that. Now, let me give you the example that they gave me. And I'm like, y'all better be playing because I fucked that shit. It's like wanting to expand my channel. Now, I use the examples that are true for me. I know you hear me say these things and you're like, it's not, again, my tribe knows and understands. It's not to make the reading about me. It's to give you an example, right? So you could see how could this play out? How could someone's mental, that kind of thing. Like let's say I wanted to grow the channel over 1,000 people, that kind of stuff. And they're like, well, that's great, but you might have to change your approach. And I'm over here like, I'm not going to do the zodiac signs. From day one, I established that I wasn't going to do that. Okay? Because I can't stand that shit. It is the one tried and true way for the algorithm to pick shit up. But it also beholdens me to having to complete all 12 zodiacs every month. When I don't know, one day may be a message about this. Maybe I may not feel called to that. And they're like, well, you could grow your channel if you did that. Or what if they're saying, hey, we know you love to do lives because the energy is great and fantastic. But you need to go back to, which I have been called to do, and I need to start doing it, some pre-recorded stuff. Because when I'm on live, obviously I'm going to pick up on the energy of the people that are present. And sometimes that can infiltrate and take over. And it's like, if I want to reach a broader audience, if I pre-record, then I can tap into that energy without any energy influences around me at that time. It's one of those things where it's like, what if you just, scale back how many times you go live? Now, I'm just saying. And then you just do like the 2 days that you would have, you do some pre-recorded ones and you put them out there. That way you constantly have something coming out and blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm over here like, no, if it's meant for me, then it'll just happen. I'm going to be me, right? Which I'm not opposed to doing pre-recordeds or anything else like that. I am opposed to zodiac signs. Don't ask me why. I'll watch them and do it. So that's probably more of a core thing. But, like maybe the prompts and stuff like that, So there's something that you have to let go of. And it has something to do more like your level of not letting go has more to do like your mental shit, like your ego, either tricking you like trying to convince you can't do something, you shouldn't change something because it'll be bad, or trying to trick you into thinking that you're somehow acknowledging failure if you do it differently. Right? So it's something you have an existing foundation on, but you're kind of like being very stingy with it. You're being stubborn, and it's something very specific that you've worked on, that you've honed. Okay. So you have a fear, because we did address fear earlier, which was the moon, right? Releasing fears in regards to an opportunity. And maybe the fear is you don't want to change because you feel like either you couldn't do it, you could do it. Like, that means you failed because you have to change an aspect of it. Why does my fucking thing keep going off? It's just my camera outside. Okay. Number one, the instruction is to take the opportunity despite the fear or despite what your fucking ego wants to tell you. Okay? All right. There's that Queen of Swords, that eagle-eye view. Like, be more objective about this and see the greater picture of the situation. Okay. I might have to pull another deck because I might have got what I needed out of those 2 cards. Directions, Spirit. You like really take a greater perspective of this. Pull out from the egoic mind and see this in totality. Okay? Because you're going to be exceptionally successful at it. All right, so what's step number 2? Because we was told we was gonna get direction. That's exactly what the hell I am. Am I okay? No, again, okay. I just went for it and I was like, wait a minute, am I supposed to do that? Because I've already pulled this deck. So they must have wanted to explain what they meant by you need to take this opportunity and fuck the fear. Fuck what your brain is trying to tell you. Follow your intuition. Remember? Moon card. Okay, we've got that. Step 2. We can get direction today. That's stuck in my hand. This goes with the story I was telling you earlier. Remember I said if I had just kept going, if I had just clicked, if I had just done that instead of like going, ooh, because I was hesitant. I was like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? I was making it harder than it had to be. It was like, Spirit's like, you're making this harder than it has to be. Okay? Here's the thing. Just fucking do it. I don't care what your brain or your ego is trying to say about the situation. Just fucking do it. Yes, you have the capacity. Yes, you have the skills. Your heart is in it, obviously, because the heart was intact up here. See the greater picture of things. Know that you can actually execute this. Quit holding back from it. and just move forward. And we've got the Two of Fire, which is the Two of Wands, and literally at the bottom it says just move forward. Had I, like my scenario earlier, just clicked the motherfucking thing, I'd realized, oh, shit would have happened a lot quicker and easier had I just taken the next step. There's something you're hesitating on, or you're going to hesitate with this, and they're like, just do it, and you're going to see how easily things fall into place. It's partnerships and contracts might be something. And then we've got financial security. Like, just execute this. Just do it. There's a contract on hand or some type of financial agreement. And for those who wanted to do it on their own, a partnership. I mean, I got tiny hands, but come on now. It's supposed to go somewhere else. I'm getting, it's personal frustration, guys. I get that. I'm going to shit a brick if they're like, step one, take the opportunity. Like, ain't that a smart ass response? Like, I'm asking for directions. Like, we'll give you directions. Take the fucking opportunity. And you're like, that's it? Question, spirit. I mean, you said you're just going to get, like, what fucking opportunity? Like, I see the Page of Swords. I see that shit. I see that. I fucking see it. Oh, where is it? The fuck I'm gonna take something that's not in front of me. For some, if you are looking at entrepreneurial stuff, you need to fucking just do it. You're hanging back for some damn reason. You think that some magical scenario is going to pop up to help you in this situation, and it's not. Okay? So it's like the energies at present are in your favor, and you just need to do something. Like start again is what I'm hearing, and just do it. Wrong one. For others, you need to allow love in. Oh. Emperor, Sun, Empress. That's like something favorable. That's something in alignment with you. That's a person in alignment with somebody. That is allowing that. That is coming together in a type of partnership, right? That even if this is within yourself, you've created this idea, this notion, now you need to be taking action on it because things are shining down on it favorably. We got the Sun card here. This is the big fuck yes card. If you ever wanted to hear Spirit tell you, fuck yes, that's the card. So it's literally like allowing yourself to come into unity. Like, quit just sitting happily in your feminine energy. Allow the masculine to come in and bring to fruition, because we got the Hierophant over here. Allow your masculine to bring into your world, your existence, something that you have created internally. That is your baby. Like, allow it. Okay? For others, it's allow this connection to happen. It is allow yourself to come into union with somebody. Your heart really wants it. It's up here that is concerned about it. This was out before this one. So then we've got the defeat card, which is all of this, this Five of Swords. It is mentally just battling it out, right? Not even knowing what truth or what thought is going to win out. So here you are in a mental conflict, and they're like, but this is, whatever this is, has solid footing, has solid ground. It is the foundation that you've been trying to figure out. Remember in my story earlier when I said I was trying to figure something out, and had I just pushed the button, the platform was like, here you go. And it was figured out for me. And now they're just like, if you would have just like quit trying to complicate shit, quit trying to battle it out in your head, just give it a shot. Take that extra step towards something and watch it play out beautifully for you. Your level of hesitation, like you're not meant to take a step towards something, is what's preventing it from playing out. They want you to know you're all caught up here, but you don't have to worry about that, because something beautiful, celebratory, solid is coming in. This is the Four of Wands. Ten of Swords. The worst is fucking over. You think that this next time around, or this next thing, is going to be a lot like the last thing or the last phase, and it's not. Or it's going to be a lot like the last 10 times that you had a relationship. It's not. I was hearing something, and it's like I accidentally eavesdropped on a conversation. Okay. I feel like Spirit's just being a smart ass. Are you really going to give us any kind of direction, seriously, on something that we don't feel like has... For some of you, the opportunity has presented itself. It's like you taking a step towards what it is, towards this, whether it's love or like entrepreneurial thing, or like just taking any kind of action on your dream, your desire, the thing that you have, just the very first time you take a step, puts you in the light, puts you in the light for somebody to come forward and give you this Page of Swords. You just have to be positioned so that they see you and they will be like, yes. So maybe for some of you, somebody will have witnessed you, watched you, seen you, but not until you take a step towards something. I know y'all love the way that I describe shit, right? Yeah. I'm saying the same thing. I literally just said, I had the Temperance card out, but this hadn't come out yet. So the Temperance card is about utilizing that balance, the feminine and the masculine, right? This is about being in balance, is being out of the Three of Swords energy that we just described, right? Because your mind, your ego is like, your heart is like, yes. And they're like, step out of that for a second and look at this. See it for what it truly is. Your ego, your fears coming through, and it's like not even founded. Temperance. And when you do that, whether it is your level of resistance to love, and so like, like me, where I'm like, oh no, they're not, I don't want someone here. I want to move out of state. I want to go somewhere else. Like, I just don't want anybody here. I don't want anybody here. And they're like, just, that mental thing that's getting in the way. Remember that thought that's getting in the way? Something like that. Like, maybe you just need to let go of that. Because we have the Daughter of Fire, which is the Page of Wands again. Okay? That came out yesterday as well. It's like when you stop resisting this and you allow it, it presents itself. And there's got to be a level, let's just be honest, a level of you taking a step would be like me having pushed that fucking button earlier and realizing, oh shit. Except I was like, no, I was so hesitant to push that fucking button that I'm over here trying to scramble, trying to make shit, like I'm trying to figure something out. Like I got to do it on my own and upload it. And like, no, all you had to do is push the button. Like explore it, remember? Like touch it, explore it, go. When I was younger, we don't push the magical buttons because bad things happen, right? Like all of our cartoons said that when we were growing up. And so we just have this fear of like, like what if it charges me something? What if it did? Like I'm over here, grandma, just like, I don't know technology, right? And it's like, I could have learned it a lot faster had I just explored. But I was like, oh no. And I go Googling every fucking thing and I'm just spinning my wheels. And it's like, just allow yourself, just go there. Like that wouldn't have been a lot of work on my part. Like whatever this step is not technically a lot of work on your part. Get up off your couch, go out of your house, and actually put on a smile. Actually drop your wall. Remotely look approachable. And when the motherfucker approaches, don't be like, and walk away. Like, what? Okay? Or how about this? Like maybe you've had this idea to revamp your resume, and you're like, oh, if I do this, and you got it all out there, but you just don't, and you haven't posted it. And like every time there's a moment free for you to be able to do it, you make another excuse as to why you can't. There's always something else. And it's like there's a level of resistance. There's literally just like one little action, just pushing a button. That's it. And then somehow this thing might come in, this Page of Swords. But whatever it is, it was this small little action of yours that you are so fucking hesitant to do because that's your masculine, right? And you're afraid you're going to be wrong. You're afraid you're going to be wrong when you take this tiny little action. And you're like, but lo and behold, I think that's when all the direction comes in, because they're saying the Page of Swords, whatever this is that comes to you, because you've got to be at least in the presence or on the radar for them to be able to give this to you. And it's like, it's all you got to do is just, and then voila, you'll get the offer. And suddenly it's like, you'll be like, you want beyond step one, you got to do step one first. So I feel like there's like a preamble to this, right? Because they're just like, just take the opportunity. Just, when something's presented, take it. That's literally probably all you've got to do, because everything slots into place. Just like when I pushed the button, they had everything on the platform for me. I was like, oh. I didn't have to make anything new up. I didn't have to figure it out. I didn't have to look up any regulations. I didn't have to blah, 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 blah. I was like, all I had to do was push the button. And like, it was all given to me on a silver platter. And so like his spirit's like, you're not going to need any instructions or directions. You just got to be able to be there and take the opportunity. But there's something before that. You got to quit being resistant to it. Okay. You can't believe it's that simple. And spirit's like, you're overcomplicating the shit. You're literally overcomplicating this shit. It actually is that fucking simple. Elaborate then on this tiny little step that people need to take in order for this Page of Swords to present itself. Let's focus on that. Do I want that? I guess I do. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. For someone. I don't know who. And it ain't for everyone. But somebody sure is battling it out when it comes to accepting something for them. I'm not going to say this. Somebody's really resistant to actual love. I don't give a shit how much you fucking say you want it. Like the legitimate step towards something that you could take to get it, you're not doing. We got the 5 of Wands. This is like chaos or conflicting desires and everything else like that. And you're just like, and 2 of Cups. Somebody's fighting the idea or notion of love. Like if it has anything to do with like the 5 of Swords, where you're mentally conflicted, you're battling it out in your head, you might be saying, you might have a whole lot of things, and you're like, but it can't be like this, and it can't be like that, and blah 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 blah. And then, when Spirit's like, hey, well, would you compromise on this? You're like, no, because if that happens, then this means happen, and you're like going on some kind of tangent in your head where you're just like you're filling in the gaps of all kinds of stories, and so it's like there's no compromise there for you. You're almost creating a barrier for yourself in that. Like my example for me, where I'm like, my person's not here. I just already know it. They're not even remotely close to me. And they're like, maybe somebody will be out and about and they're visiting here. And my belief that wouldn't be true. There's no way that somebody would come into my podunk town or near my neck of the woods, even though we have millions show up every year in May. And even though, it's like there's something there where it's like, I'm convinced. Okay. I just know. And so it's not even worth my effort to do this. And they're like, if you just did that one fucking thing, like go out and actually believe that there's a potential possibility that you could meet your person out. Like you have such little faith that Spirit could somehow bring them to in front of your path. Right? That's Spirit talking to me. Like, you think I can't bring them to you? You think that they somehow wouldn't be, you think that I can't find a way to put them in front of your path? But you're so resistant to love right now, I wouldn't even send you on send them your way. Be open to the idea that it could show up right now. I'm just like, I literally don't foresee it. There's not any, and they're like, probably like, Shauna, if you probably would just fucking be open and be like, okay. But I'm not. I can't just be open. I gotta think about it a million different ways. Oh my God. No. Because I'm so smart. I'm so convinced. 7-7. That doesn't feel right. I'm not going to take this. I'm going to let it. We got the Empress again. Okay. 3 cups in the center. Like, this is allowing yourself to quit being in the hermit mode, network, socialize, connect with others. Period, fucking point blank. Like, maybe you want to build a business, but you feel like because it's in such baby form and you have seemingly failed before, that somehow you're not really good at building those connections, and so you don't even allow yourself to call and contact these people that could be not even just business partners. I'm not even talking about that. I'm like just connections in the niche, in the vein. Like, maybe you are afraid to even mention it again. Maybe you're not telling people. Maybe you're going out, but you're not telling people what you really do, what you hope to do, what you want to do. Because, I'm going to use my son as an example. He has certain dreams and certain desires. It's one of those tried and true things where people are like, everybody looks at you like you're crazy for wanting to do a certain thing, and that the odds are so against you that it's so stupid, and it's so widely accepted that it's so stupid to try and want to be something like let's say a model or a famous singer, that somehow it's like you don't dare mention that to people unless you have something to show for it. I mean, you're not a model until you are, right? So many people don't have demo tapes and this, that, and the other, and they still make it as famous singers and whatnot, right? Like, there's a level of, so when people ask him what he wants to do, he's bold enough to tell them what he really wants to do. And he knows it's probably not something he'll be able to execute while he's here, but he still claims it. Because what if in doing that, he meets somebody who just happens to be down? We were at a funeral the other day, and somebody that I know from childhood was chit-chatting with my son and asked him this, and he said it, he claimed it. Now, people come from all over the place, and I know that seems really sadistic, and I'm not saying anything was going to happen from here. But first off, this person encouraged him, like, do it. Do what you've got to do, right? But what if this person, or what if there had been an individual that came from out of state to this funeral because they were connected in some capacity, and then came across my son and he was too embarrassed to mention what he wants to do? Own it, claim it, say it. Like, you don't want to look stupid. The ego, you don't want to look wrong, you don't want to look stupid. There's something about that here where it's like, maybe if you networked a little bit more, if you owned it, if you made it public for people. Like, don't hide it. Don't hide yourself, right? Because right here we've got the Empress and the Ten of Wands. The Empress is that gestation, that thing that you're growing, the creation. And maybe you just need a little bit of help. Ten of Wands, not doing it on your own anymore. Like, when a woman gives birth to a baby, we always talk about how it takes a village to raise a child. And it's exceptionally grueling and difficult and hard and trying and emotionally draining to try and do that alone, right? All the inner work already done, and now's the real work, right? Maybe you don't got to do, like, and don't get me wrong, because I've carried 3. I fucking know it's real work to do that, okay? But to be the Hierophant, where you bring something into fruition, that thing that you've created becomes manifest in your life. You build a structure with it. You create a foundation for it. All of that requires that masculine energy. And maybe it requires more than just the self, right? This is all about bringing in others. But if you're not willing to claim what you want, if you're not willing to speak on it, if you're not willing to talk to other people, if you're not willing to get up off your fucking couch, if you're not willing to drop your inner wall down, all of that stuff, it doesn't fucking matter then, right? Nine of Wands, Eight of Cups. You have to let go of your resistance. The Nine of Wands goes beyond just protecting the self and knowing the self-worth. Nine of Wands is when you, because that's the Seven of Wands. Nine of Wands is when you've done it alone for so fucking long that you've almost, in order to continue on, built up a wall. You've created this blockade, this like invisible force field that people get zapped with if they come too close to it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to drop that. That's what you've got to walk away from. And that comes from your fear. You've created a wall of energy, a wall, a barrier between you and what you want, out of fear, out of not wanting to look wrong. It's your mind doing that. It's your ego doing that. Your pride. I don't want to look stupid. That's what you have to let go of. That's the cross there between, and that's that separation. The Three of Swords is saying, let go of that hesitancy, that wall, that barrier, that fear of looking stupid, the fear of being wrong, the fear of stepping out, of claiming something, of owning it. Are you afraid to say that you want love? Are you like, no, because it could go wrong again, and as long as I stay in the energy of not wanting it, then I'm good? You know what Spirit's going to do then? They're going to send you a little something to show you just how wrong you really fucking are. That person that's like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't really want love, blah, 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 blah. And then someone shows up. You could know in totality, right, that it's not going to work. They could be in another relationship with somebody else, and you're like, and you're not the type of person to do anything like that. It'll never fucking go anywhere. So why can I not stop thinking about them? What the fuck? Like, how did this one person show up? Like, I'm not even wanting love. Oh, you don't? Well, then why can you not stop thinking about them? Why do you desire to be going on dates? Why suddenly do you think, oh man, it would have been nice to da-da-da-da? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Spirit will be like, oh really? So even if it's like a job, a thing you want, they'll send you little things to make you go, God, I want that. And you're like, shit, I want that. They're going to try to entice you. But you've got to literally like just take that first step. You know? It's like the baby that doesn't want to move, who's learning how to walk, but mama has a cookie right there. And mama's like, I got a cookie for you. And you want it? Come get it. And you're like, as the baby going like, if I fucking move, I'm going to lose my shit. I'll face plant. That's what I'm going to fucking do. And but you want that cookie. And your big girl booty. Really, I'm just telling you, like you just, I like my cookies. I don't know about you. You just got to take that one step, right? And amazing how you take that step and you're like, oh, my body can do this. Oh, and the other steps seem to come in seemingly easy, right? Like, it's just that fear of moving forward, right? Okay, then. Let's talk about this. You gave us directions. You said, let go of that fucking thing and accept something when it comes in. Okay. Eight of Cups that shit so you can get what you want, right? Eight of Cups leaving that other shit, the security of whatever the fuck it is you're thinking, feeling, or whatever else, that hesitancy, so that you can move towards the Nine of Cups, right? What it is that you actually want. And just by, it's like it feels so minimal in the grand scheme of things. That's why they keep giving the eagle thing. Like, pull out of this. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. Like, it's not that hard. You're complicating this shit. And you just got to do a little something, and voila, y'all are like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, it's literally right there. It's like literally getting onto a platform so people who could use your service can find you. It's like not wanting to look stupid, so you haven't made a website yet because you don't feel like you're ready just yet. Like, maybe it's not, and you don't want to look dumb. It's like people will see it then and they're looking at me like, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. And it's like, just do it, because the people who want to find you, that Page of Swords will, like, there's just something there. One little thing you got to do so that this can reach you. And I feel like Spirit wants to be like, hey, I really wish I would, like, to them, it's nothing. It's more of an allowance. It's not really you having to, like, you know what I mean? It's like, just allow yourself to go there. It's really like, and that they've talked about before, but somebody didn't get it. Somebody is waffled because you was there and then you're not. Then you were there and then you're not. Then you were there, then you were not. And they're like, just stay in allowance. All right. Give me just a second, a smidge of a minute. I picked up my cup and they started singing New York. Is it the city where dreams are made of? Something dreams are made of. That's it. That's the little blurb they gave me. It'll make you feel brand new. I'm waiting to see what all they give me. That was purposeful. Is that significant though? Give me just a second, guys. Okay, sorry. Someone's going to reach out soon. Like, most of y'all, the Eight of Cups is just letting go of that wall. Like, that literally is your action. That little thing, that whatever that resistance for you is. But there's somebody that's like, that's going to reach out, communicate very soon. I'm getting the sense it's somebody you don't know. I was asking them who this was. But it's somebody who has a lot of wisdom, that has more experience. That Okay, so older is either in years or as in more experience. Okay, because we got the mature woman, we have the family room card. Still getting, I was like that. I got a little confused. I was like, is this family? Right? Because we've had some readings where there's something about family and stuff like that, right? And so I wanted to make sure it was the timing card, and then it was like the message, because it meant, again, like, this will come through very quickly, very fast, very soon from this. And so I was like, who is this? Who is this mature one? I wanted to make sure whether it was family or not. They did give me the lily, which is all about like someone, it can be somebody more wizened, more experienced, older, but it's also uh yeah, like older, wizened, somebody with the know-how on something, right? And then I kept going like, but who is it? And they're like, this. That tells me you don't know them. They give me like the tree for family, or like the mama bear if it was a mother, or things like that. This is like it's someone unknown to you. Like, it's not somebody you're. And then okay, hold on. I know y'all just love when I get quiet. We got the great fortune and the wealthy male. Wealthy man. I feel like this has to do with status, and because we got the moon card, which is the recognition card. Then we have it's like whatever the opportunity is has to do with the wealthy male, right? Whoever this whoever's reaching out to you feels like a third party, like it's not a direct contact. And I have to go with this because I know it changes for different people, but I can't get away from that. What's the connection between these two? I get like a third party. Like when somebody wants to go, oh my God, you need to meet so and so. Okay. And, or like, because in between it was like there's some level of connection, some type of a contract, or some type of a partnership, or some type of like colleague, like someone on the same level as you. Like they're equating the relationship between the two, between the mature woman and the wealthy male, or whoever this is over here, like the glue, because that's what I would take a contract to be, like the thing that keeps something together. And then it was like the privileged lady, which feels like the privileged lady is the actual match for the wealthy male. So like the it would be like it is that, like, oh, you need to meet so and so. It's that type of energy. Like, oh, this would be somebody that's like a perfect match for you, whether it's love or, oh my gosh, so and so has been looking for someone just like you, or, oh, you know what, you and so would hit it off, or there's some kind of like, what okay. I know you would. This has got to do with. I can't even get my fucking questions out before they're already flipping shit over. Sorry. I swear, these are like a ride. This. So they're giving me like a level of hesitancy of like a surprise factor. Okay, let me just explain to you. We have the unexpected income, which is about something very unexpectedly or last minute or something coming out of the blue popping up, right? It can also be like little amounts of money and things like that. Then we have the bad health card, which is all about anxiety, stress. It could manifest in physiological symptoms. And here it just feels like anxiety and stress because it's paired with the concern card. Okay. So when you have those three, it's like almost like there is, because I'm like, what the heck does he have to do with? Now, this is a lot of status right here. Can I just say, if we have like the moon card here, which is about fame, which is about notoriety, which is about like someone who is very elevated in their game, but a genuine and sincere person. Because we have the heart card with the dog, which is loyalty, like a trustworthy individual. But there's a like whoever this is somehow like an elevated status. So maybe the only way to make contact or to come in contact with, or to the only way for you to get on their radar would be this 3 cups of energy of putting yourself out there, right? And allowing something to be able to see you. And they're like, and I remember in the past reading, it's like, you be perfect. And I'm getting the energy from over here where it's like, there's this sense of like a third party of like, oh my gosh, you need to blah, 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 blah. Like, the 7 degrees of separation, right? You know that movie with Kevin Bacon, like the 7, like everybody is connected somehow through 7 different degrees. And so it's literally like being able to, and maybe that's where this is heading, where you're like, I can't believe that, like for me, my person's not here in Kentucky. And they're like, do you not think that I have a way to put someone in front of you across your path, even with where you're at? It may be the domino effect, like there's something gets introduced and then da 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 da. And we're only going on this tangent because I asked what the fucking Page of Swords was. It'd be like you're on your lunch break out and you went to a particular restaurant to get your thing, and you're standing in line and someone has like a conversation with you. And they're like, oh my God, you should come out tonight. You're so much fun, blah, 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 blah. They're not from around there, but they're like, we're all in town for a little bit. It'd be so much fun just to, da, da, da. And so you're kind of like hesitant, right? Like, that kind of thing. I don't know. You got no real, I don't know. And you go, and that's where like the thing happens. Like what if you hadn't left to go get your fucking lunch? What if you didn't get up off your ass from the couch? What if you door dashed it? There's just this level of, because when we're pulling these other cards, like I'm trying to figure out who this person is, and they're like someone with a status, someone who it's like their reputation precedes them type of thing. Because they're like it's like there's this level of like whatever, so like people would think that they're in a like a level above, right? Which we've been talking about. You needed to take something to another level, so of course you would meet people like, you know what I mean? But they were actually a really great person trustworthy, you know, them, like, it's not like they're untouchable necessarily, but the unexpected of them, like the unexpectedness of them would be like anxiety because you see them as somebody that's worldly. Like, they're very wizened. They know things and been places and done things. Like, they feel like they're like you would see them as like you're here, they're here. I want to know more about this heifer. Like, what is this? Is there a third party? Am I reading this correctly? Is this like a third party? Like, this is like, you know, like if you're given an invitation, if you're given an offer, if you're given like an opportunity on something with somebody you feel like is out of the league, right? And the hesitancy over here is like when they're saying you need to take the offer, you need to take this opportunity, you need to take the whatever it is, like just trust in yourself. And you're over here feeling like your ego's like, we're gonna trip and fall on our face like the baby. We don't need to do this. Last time we did this, it's like you feel like your ego is really filling you full. That's where there may be hesitancy in that. Like, I'm getting so many scenarios, guys. Like, I guess that's what happens when you're reading for a collective and you ask for specifics. They're like, well, here we go. I'll give you 1 million of them. Okay. What time is it? Oh, I got like 5 seconds left. 5 minutes, not 5 seconds. How? I don't get it. Hold on 1 second. Who is there? When you're like, oh, no, and you put it back and they pull it back out, they're like, I said. I need to understand this. Because people are going to be going around going, oh, someone's going to introduce me, da-da-da-da. Whatever the third party is, we know it's not something familiar to you. We know that it is something that's got the knowledge, the wisdom that you need, the direction maybe, right? Oh, they did say the Page of Swords was going to be your directions. We got the anchor, which is all about pulling up anchor and moving shore. So this person has the leverage to get you unstuck from something, like maybe give you the direction or help you find your way to this person, like the 7 degrees of separation. Again, pulling up anchor and moving to different shores. Then we have the masculine. It's literally like they have the know-how, because the fox is cunning, smart, wise, like not manipulative, like just this. They got the smarts. You know the saying, outfoxing somebody, right? On how to get down a particular path. Okay, so it is somebody that can play like a middle part. Okay. So if the Page of Swords is, to me, for some, I can't help but think that it might be all too easy. Like if you were to bump into this motherfucker somewhere, you'd have no choice but to show up and show out, right? But if there was like either a person that says, hey, I should introduce you to so-and-so, it'd be easy to back out, right? It'd be real easy to pump the brakes. Or if this is like just someone that's like got a lot of wisdom that will get you somewhere, it's easy to dismiss them because they are not this person, right? So let's say you get an invitation out somewhere. It's easy to be like, I don't want to go. You should go. If you and then like you might, there is. I can't get away from the 7 degrees of separation. There's something about like being able to take that first step. And maybe the say yes to opportunities is whatever this one gives you, because it takes you into rooms where this one's going to be. Like this feels very intentional and purposeful, and you just have to be willing to go with the flow. And that's why the directions are very simple at this point. They're like, hey, you have resistance. And you're not consistently in the state of allowance. You pump the brake in all kinds of different ways. And it prevents you from taking action, which is the masculine. You kind of need to, if your inner feminine wants a particular something, then you need to allow the masculine to take action towards it. And sometimes it's as simple as saying yes to something that presents itself to you, an opportunity, right? An invitation out, or someone saying you want to go do this or whatever else, right? And maybe that cloud card is you not seeing that this person would be the link, right? But they have the know-how, the understanding. Like you don't recognize or realize, right? So even, I'm going to say that even if this is somebody that you're aware of, that you know who they are, things like that, you might want to still say yes. Because remember, they said yesterday, like when it does present itself, you're going to know, right? Like if you say yes to this and you get to the plate, like the 7 degrees of separation, right? And I'm not saying it's going to take 7 different people or 7 different things. Like it just means that there's a link, like spirit's using links between situations, circumstances, and people to bring something into your path. And all you got to do is say yes when it presents itself, but don't be in your head about, do I look stupid? Start talking about what you want to do, start claiming it, start speaking it, start owning it, start acting the part as if, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid of how something looks falling flat on your face, blah, 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 what other people think. Like you gotta bring down that wall of resistance and fear, and just go for it, right? See the greater picture of the situation. Don't allow yourself to get consumed or bought up into or wrapped up into the fears that are here, or your pride, your ego. It's time to share with other people. So you can't be embarrassed of this anymore. You can't be shrinking back. You can't be holding back. I don't care if you only just have an idea for a business and you haven't done shit for it. Like you need to start owning it, right? And if you feel like you can't run in certain circles because you don't really have it well formulated or anything else like that, too fucking bad. You need to start going to these circles. You need to say yes to invites. You got to start taking actions. And see, it's not the Page of Swords, the invite, the offer, the opportunity that changes things. It's what comes from the Page of Swords, which is the Ace of Cups. The opportunity comes from this. And that's where the change happens. 3 of Cups of energy. 3 Cups of energy. The 3 of Cups energy is very prominent. And where'd you go? Much like the things that are meant to come together, the matches, the Emperor and the Empress, like this is going to happen. Okay? We was everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere. Holy shit. You might have to watch that one again. Because I felt like I was going like this in the reading. Like there wasn't like a nice little line. So, alrighty. That's probably, I'm probably gonna have to come. I don't remember half the shit I just said, so I'm gonna have to rewatch that one. Anywho, I hope that helps. Oh, we don't have a list or anything like that right now. It was a general read. Sorry about that. And when I'm channeling, I don't pay attention to the chat, which is why I've got the peeps in my moderators and stuff like that, because they can handle that all that stuff because they know how I am. Like it's just not. I get to going and I have to stay in the zone kind of thing. So I do apologize about that. That's not me just trying to ignore people. I almost dropped something. I hope that made sense. It is the button that opens Stargate to another, or the self-destruct button. That's what I'm saying, David. When you're taught a certain way, like we were, we're afraid that's what we're pushing. Anywho. Alrighty, I gotta hop off, gotta go get my son. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. You may have to rewatch that, so will I. Have a great day.